Hello guys, Alex from Fake Games here. Today I'm going to be test playing the red-purple deck. I have two gameplay videos for you. So the first gameplay video will be, well, the first match actually, will be me playing red-purple versus my opponent on a steel amber style deck. So they inkwell a aerial and then they play a Lilo. I have increased the speed of the gameplay to 1.2 in my editing software. So please let me know if you guys enjoy the speed of the game, so if you want it faster or slow down, because the plays might be going a little bit faster. So I ink a Maui and I play mirror. They ink a smash, and then they're going to play a LeFou. Very interesting. I was very much expecting a Teenage Simba, because Teenage Simba would have been crazy there, but I would have had LeFou, so it would have been like kind of not good. But I ink a Dragon Maleficent, summons Middle Maleficent to draw a Broom. I attack the Owl into a Lilo. They draw for turn. They still just have a LeFou on the field, and I have a couple of cards. I have the LeFou in my hand to deal with their Teenage Simba. They ink a Rockstar Stitch. Then they play Teenage Simba, as I expected, and another Lilo, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to let them quest, gain 2. I draw a large Elsa. I'm going to sing Friends from the Other Side with my Middle Maleficent, and then I'm going to probably play Pocket Watch, because I don't want to deal with the Simba, because I don't have an efficient way to deal with either of the dudes as of right now. So because of that, I'm going to ink a Broom, and then decide to just quest and pass. He could, if he wanted to, attack the Owl with Teenage Simba and have a good positive trade, but instead he summons his Hans, and he's probably going to quest everything. Yep, quests everything, so it puts him at 9, a nice hefty lead. I draw a big Aladdin, which could come in handy late game if I'm able to get him out. Then I summon the LeFou to ready the Teenage Simba. I trade the Owl into the LeFou, and I sing Friends from the Other Side. I draw a Cauldron, which is interesting. I decide to play the Cauldron here. Look at my top card, I see a big Maleficent. And then here, which this could have been a sequencing mistake, because he might have been a really good late game, I decided to ink him to get the extra ink, and then beat the Lilo, which here might have just been correct to hold the Cauldron, and then ink, not ink, but I guess not inking this turn doesn't get me anywhere anyway, so. But he summons his beast to get rid of the Cauldron. Very smart choice, because Cauldron's a one-of in most builds. And then he quests Hans and is able to deal with my LeFou. So a nice +1 on his part. So he has 4 cards, and he's able to quest the baby Simba. I draw a large Maleficent for turn. I play Magic Mirror to draw a card. And then I sing Friends on the Other Side to draw 2. And then I ink Dragon Maleficent. And then I can play Magic Mirror and then pass turn. Which this is a little bit rough here, because he's able to quest for 5 next turn, which will put him at 17, and that's rough range. I will, if I am able to top deck a inkable card, then Be Prepared could save me, but if I don't, I just lose. So the game comes down to if I can top deck a inkable card, because he's just going to quest everything, do 1 damage, puts him at 17. So I do quest the inkable card, so the game's not over quite yet. So I'm able to then quest my Middle Maleficent, play, Be Prepared, wipe everything. He's on 0 cards, but he's at 17. So if he top decks a really good card, that does pretty well for him. I get Dragon Maleficent. I then can ink it, and then summons a Elsa, which is really, really good here, because that prevents him from gaining lore. And then I will pass turn. He draws a card. He has 6 Inkwell, so he can play any card in his deck here. Beast. Beast is crazy, because I won't have the Pocket Watch for any Aladdins I top deck. I draw a Broom for turn, so I can play Rafiki, and then deal with the Aladdin, but then it makes it so he quests for 2 with Beast, which this here might have been a mistake, because if I summons the Elsa then can deal with both of them, and it would put him on 17. But then I wouldn't have any way to really stop him from continuing to quest. So I decided he doesn't have game yet. Let's see. He then top decks another Aladdin. I can then Elsa both of them, and then I can deal with both of them with my dudes. So his board will be clear, but then he'll be on top deck, and that's essentially still game, because I would have to deal with the top deck with like a Dragonfire or something, which is a little hard to do, when your hand is only on Maleficent. Top deck Rapunzel, crazy. So I top deck BLT Mickey. I summons the baby Maleficent. Yeah. I draw a card, and then I can ink a big Mickey here. And then I can draw a card with Mirror. And then I can quest with Elsa, and then I can sing Be Prepared. So it puts him on, you need top deck a guy, which he might be able to. And he does. Hans. So once again, game. But I have Ursula, so I can summon Ursula. Ow. And here, this lost me the game. So if I decided to summon Baby Aladdin and Ursula, it would have put him at 17, which means the Hans wouldn't have won him the game, and I might have been able to start coming back from there. But as soon as I summoned it, I realized it was the misplay, and the game's over. So the deck was fine, but it was operator error. And this deck, if you misplay, it is very, very hard to play correctly after you misplay, because the misplays just demolish you. So we're gonna head into our second game. So we end up losing to Amber Steel, but it wasn't the deck losing, it was the operator losing. So this game, I believe I'm playing against a red-purple, so I decided to mulligan everything back but Pocket Watch, because I like Pocket Watch a lot. I think the card's kind of crazy. So I inkwell an owl to play an owl, and then I will pass turn. Testing out owl, I have an in-person version of this deck that doesn't play one-drops. So it's personal preference, but I think a lot of the builds are on one-drops right now. So I draw another owl, just gonna inkwell that right away, and probably pass, because I have no need to summon the broom. Oh, okay, I decided to quest, get their free quest in. So they draw for turn. They have, I believe, 7 cards in hand, probably. Inkwell a baby Elsa, and then summons a Donald Duck. Very interesting. Okay. And then pass turn. I draw a LeFou. Good, but it's not good in this matchup, so I just ink it. And then I can draw 2 with Friends on the other side. Nice Pot of Greed here. Double Big Aladdin in hand with Pocket Watch. That could come in handy late game. So they draw for turn. They have 6 cards in hand, 2 on field to my 6 cards in hand, 1 on field. They inkwell, so now they have 5, so we're equal card advantage. They summons Maleficent, so they draw 1, so they're back being +1. I draw a Maui, which Maui's pretty decent. So I decide to inkwell my Magic Broom. And then I will play Friends on the other side to draw 2 cards. Then I pass turn. They got a couple of guys on field. Decide not to deal with them because Be Prepared can come in clutch, or the Aladdin late game can deal with a lot of these little dudes, so I'm okay with them. They use Friends on the other side, draw 2, so we're back and forth gaining card advantage. They ink a baby Elsa, and then they quest a Donald Duck, and then pass for turn. I don't know what's happening. It looks like it's lagging a little bit, but I decide to ink my second big Aladdin, summons a Maui. Maui will deal with the Donald Duck. Nice +1 for us. And then I pass turn because I don't want to lose my owl, I guess. I could have traded the owl into Maleficent to go 1 for 1, which would have been okay. But he decides to, which is crazy here, deal 2 guys. So my Maui went 1 for 3. And then he sings for 2, or he sings to draw 2. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8 cards in hand with 1 on field, to our 6 cards in hand, 1 on field. So they're still currently +1, but they haven't inked. So I believe we're at neutral card advantage right now. Or they're +1 because they have 7. Yeah. Summons a Maui, and then they pass turn. I draw a large Ursula for turn. I ink a Maui, and then I play Pocket Watch, and then I can play Rafiki to be able to deal with the Maleficent. And then here, I decide I want to quest the Owl, because if he decides to deal with either of them, both of my dudes can deal with the Maui the next turn. So I essentially agreed to trade the Owl and the Rafiki with the Maui, which isn't too terrible. Maui goes 1 for 2, but summons is a baby Aladdin to lose me 1 lore. Attacks the Maui into the Rafiki, and then inks a baby Aladdin, then passes turn. So I draw another big Aladdin, which is very interesting here. So I decide to ink a big Aladdin, a card already in my hand, play a Ursula to draw a card, draw into a broom, and then I decide to owl train to the Maui. And then I'll pass turn. The opponent draws for turn. They have Dragonfire for my Ursula, which is kind of good. Now they have 5 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand after their Inkwell, ink a large Maleficent, quest, and pass. So I draw Maui for turn, and this is where things get kind of crazy. So I'm able to ink the Maui because I value the broom potentially in late game. I summons Aladdin. I use Pocket Watch on the Aladdin to attack his baby Aladdin to put him to 0 and to put me at 3. And I'm hoping that this attack could potentially change tempo in my favor. Because I have Be Prepared, I have mirrors, I have draw cards along with the Pocket Watch and a large Aladdin. But he summons his own large Aladdin and passes. I draw an Owl for turn. I decide to play a Magic Mirror on the field. I decide to draw a card with it, draw another Be Prepared, and I'll play a Broom and then reshuffle one of my friends on the other side into the deck. And then I decide to Inkwell a Owl, and then I pass turn to the opponent. They draw a card, so that puts them at 5 cards in hand, 1 on field. So they have a total of 6 cards to the total of our 6 cards. So we're neutral card advantage right now, but we are ahead on inking by a lot. They summons a large Doctor and ink a... Ooh, I don't know what that dude is, but he's the dude that gains attack equal to the cards in your hand. Play Friends to draw 2. Play Mirror to draw 1. And then ink a Maleficent, I think. Yeah, because the Queen is a threatening card for late game. So if I choose to Be Prepared the following turn, the Queen is a very, very good just slap on the field. You have to deal with the Queen or I'm going to draw cards every turn. So on top of the Mirror, I'm drawing plenty of cards. He decides to quest the Aladdin, and then here he uses Dragonfire on my Aladdin. And it's strange that he decides not to quest the Doctor, because late in the game you should be predicting some type of Be Prepared or some type of card like that. So I decide just quest Broom, Be Prepared here, and then I can ink the Queen, and then I can decide to draw a card if I want to. But I guess I decide to pass because I value the threateningness of the Queen if needed. So he has 4 cards in hand, so we're +2 right now. So we're gaining a little bit of card advantage on him. Summons as a Doctor and passes. We draw a Rafiki. We decide to summons the Queen and draw a card. Perfect sequencing of plays. Showing that Queen can do a lot, and there it goes, a Dragonfire. So he's already down 2 Dragonfires, so potentially the BLT Mickey might be safe late game. And here, we summons Big Maleficent. We can then deal with the Doctor, and then we can summons the Shield, and we could do Shield shenanigans to try to gain more with the large Maleficent. He draws for turn, so he has 3 cards in hand, still only has 4 cards, so we're currently +3 on him. Very, very far ahead, on top of being far ahead in the ink advantage, which usually doesn't matter, but in the mirror match it's okay. It's not super great. Mirror shenanigans here, able to quest, then I'm able to attack, dealing with the baby Doctor, and then I can draw a card for free with Mirror. I then ink a Lafau, and then summons Rafiki. Just enough cards that if you wanted to Be Prepared, it would feel okay, but neither of these cards I really care about. But it's also enough to pose a little bit of a threat to end the game, because the red-purple deck is a little slow when it comes to trying to end the game, because it's so controlling. So I don't want to overextend, because if I overextend by putting too much of my dudes on my field, then Be Prepared could just end the game. So, looks like he's not really doing much right now, which is kind of strange. Summons as a Donald Duck, and then passes. So I draw LeFou for turn, and then I quest both of them. I draw with a Magic Mirror, I draw a Baby Aladdin, and then I can quest, well, I can just do nothing because I have nice card advantage. That's also nothing, so I choose to do nothing. Same thing, draws for turn, 4 cards in hand, quest the Donald Duck. His hand might be all like on Inkables, which could be unfortunate. But I draw a Queen for turn, and I decide to quest both Magic Mirror, ink a Pocket Watch, use Shield to put Maleficent back up, and then pass. So that's kind of my gameplay for the next couple of turns. Still Be Prepared, like now, I was just going to keep questing. And now that he has, I can put more guys on the field very, very confidently, because if he has another one, that's okay. He had 2. So that's about the game plan for the end of the game. Mickey and then the Aladdin will probably do beatdowns. So, well, if you guys been liking these videos, please subscribe. I've been trying to do them, trying to put some competitive content out so that you guys can have some type of gameplay out there that is competitive. I'm not the greatest player, but misplays can help you guys learn. And that's the whole point of this channel, is a regular person that goes to locals, tops sometimes, does well in tournaments, playing some games for you guys to watch so that you can learn from some misplays, like the last game that was played. I had a misplay and that cost me the game. So that crucial misplay will then help me learn for the future. So right now the game's just winding down. I'm just going to quest everything out. Kind of force them on like you have to deal with my dudes. Probably don't want to play into a Be Prepared because shield just does enough. And then I probably just pass. And then he's going to draw off a turn. He's going to have 4 cards in hand. And then he's probably just going to quest both. Or quest 1 and decide to sing the Be Prepared. Because he needs Be Prepared here. Because if he doesn't have Be Prepared, he just kind of loses. Like, he can Large Maleficent into Queen, Doctor into Baby Aladdin, and then Dragonfire, that would work. Elsa's also interesting here. That also kind of deals with it a little bit. So he targets my Elsa and my Queen, and a Maleficent into the Baby Aladdin, and he still doesn't quest with Doctor, which is kind of strange. So I ready the Elsa, and then I sing the Be Prepared, wipe everything, and then pass turn after I draw. Oh, draw Cauldron, look at the top 2. Top 2 is a Mickey, and then I try summoning Dragon Maleficent, but I realize I can't a couple of times, so I just summoned the Rafiki. Pass turn, draws for turn, so he has 4 cards, so we're currently +6 on him. So we should win the game. It will just take a couple more turns, so it'll be winding down a little bit. Someone's a Baby Elsa, someone's a Jafar, draw a Broom Mickey for turn, quest the Rafiki, and then so I ready him, and then I put Aladdin on top of my deck. So I put him on. If you quest out, you lose, so you need to be prepared to wipe your board after you quest. If you decide to do this play, which is to deal with the Rafiki, you will lose because I have the Aladdin on the top deck. And there we go. We top deck the Aladdin. I'll summon it. I'll give it Pocket Watch, and that'll be the game. So I appreciate you guys watching. Give me any feedback in the comment section. And please have a great day. Stay safe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.